Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order. Welcome to Hapanwo TV. Right, I'm at Monaco Road in Leicester today. And the reason I've come here is because I wanted to talk to you and show you a location where something very strange happened in August of last year. To give you it's rather like the place in Blackheath. It's not it doesn't look very remarkable. And the thing about it is, a lot of these locations do not. What happened in August of last year? In one of these houses here, I don't know which one obviously because it was a news report, the couple who lived there reported that thousands of tiny yellow plastic balls fell from the sky. They were tiny little yellow things, a few millimetres across. The kind of little balls you get in floral displays, in filling flower pots and ammunition for toy guns, that kind of thing. But it did reach the news, and in fact, if you go to the description box, there's a link to the Hapanwo Voice article that I wrote at that time, actually recording the event when it happened. Now, the strange things falling from the sky, it's one of the most common mysteries of all. It's one of the most common, most enduring, and it's the least explicable, one of the least explicable. In fact, Arthur C. Clarke covered it in his famous TV series Mysterious World, and he was baffled. But it goes back a long time. What happens is, usually during rainstorms, rain will fall, but then with it will come other things which shouldn't be falling from the sky. You know, very sometimes nuts, berries, fish, frogs, even the proverbial cats and dogs have been reported falling from the sky. It's maybe where this phrase comes from. We're nearly at the end. It's only a little road, it's just a short road, you see. It's all rather strange because, I mean, there's several different theories about what they might be. Some people say they're sucked up in tornadoes and then are dumped. The tornadoes suck them into the sky and then they fall. The big problem with that theory is, well, there are several. Firstly, that when these things tumble out of the heavens, very often the fish and the frogs are alive. It doesn't explain how that's possible if they've been sucked up by a tornado. They're very unlikely to have survived that experience. Another problem is that these things tend to be specific and particular. Like, you might get a rain of herring, for example, but there won't be any sprats or any cod mixed in. It'll just be herring. He comes to the end of the road already. So it's only a short little road. Just go around here. As I said, another problem is, I mean, in the case where nuts and berries and fruit, sometimes bits of fruit fall out of the sky, very often they're out of season. They're often in very good condition, they're edible. People have eaten them and they're absolutely normal. Some hazelnuts fell on a couple in Bristol in 1977. They ate them. They took them home and ate them, and they were perfectly normal, but it was March. How the hell do you get hazelnuts in March? Also, you know, what you'd get is, for instance, when I say specific and particular, what you'll also get is, if you get frogs fall in the sky, you won't get things like waterweed and you know, seawater and stuff like that falling as well. You'll just get frogs on their own, or fish on their own. This is the strange business, isn't it? Another problem is that these phenomena tend to be concentrated in a small area, and in the case of the little yellow balls, it was in just one of these houses, just one of the gardens. Apparently it was just on their garage. There's several other theories. Some people say they're things that fall from aircraft. Now, what you've got a lot of, what happened in America was lumps of ice fell on people's houses. A huge lump of ice once fell on a guy's house. Well, it broke through the roof and through the upper floor into the lounge below. A huge lump of ice the size of a basketball. It's been analysed in the laboratory. It's not a hailstone. No one knows what it is. No one knows. They can't tell how it formed. Now, obviously lumps of ice do fall from aircraft. Sometimes ice builds up on the skin of the aircraft and then it cracks off and falls. Another, obviously water also escapes from the aircraft's plumbing and it falls down and it freezes on the way down because it's so cold up there. Sometimes you get water which is tinted blue and smells of disinfectant. If you get a lump of ice falling with that, it's from an aircraft's plumbing, or if you're very unlucky, it might be kind of brown stained and smell lavatorial. You don't want that falling on you. But of course, it is a possibility that some of these things that fall from the sky are in fact, they do fall from aircraft. They're cargo from aircraft. And that could have been the case here in Monaco Road back in August last year. The thing is though, the couple who reported it to the news, as I say, look in the description box, there's my article covering. It includes a link to the news story, the original news story on BBC website. The problem with that is that no aircraft was reported at the time. So I'm as baffled as Arthur C. Clarke over this. And this is very old. This actually goes back long before the invention of aircraft. I mean, it's reported by Pliny the Younger in the 1st century when fish fell from the sky. There's numerous reports in the medieval period of fish, frogs, other objects falling from the sky. Sometimes natural, sometimes artificial. Where they come from, who knows? I think that the solution to the mystery might well lie in the work of Dr. Mangia Samantha Lawton. Now she's very interesting to listen to. She's been a guest on Hapanwo Radio and she's currently engaged in more media activity. She's releasing a film called Punk Science. But what she's discovered, what she has theorised, is that material is actually injected into this universe from outside it. It's kind of like it's almost like she's seen water coming out of the centre of galaxies, for example, and she theorises that water is actually produced. Water from clouds when it rains is not is not just water that's been sucked up. It's actually water that is injected into this dimension. It's actually created and falls from wherever it is created from. It's created spontaneously in this dimension. There was a guy whose name I can't remember. I have to look it up, but he managed to create things as well, little insects and stuff like that. What was his name? He lived in Somerset. Oh, I'll look it up and find out. But that's the example is that you know that this is possible. What could be the solution to this mystery could lie within that somehow. Maybe in a rainstorm, from a rain cloud, maybe something goes wrong with the kind of patterning or whatever process is used for creating this material. Because if the universe is a hologram and it's a sort of like a creation and it's a code, then it's possible the code gets mixed up and the wrong material is created. Sometimes, you know, instead of water coming down, something else comes down. Maybe there's a bug in the program, for example, and it creates, and frogs come down, or fish, or some other material. Who knows, hey, who knows? But I do urge you, look up Mangia Samantha Lawton. I will put a link, in fact, in the article in the description box, there's a link to Mangia Samantha Lawton's interview on Hapanwo Radio. I'm not going to bother putting in separate links, it's too many to remember, but just go to the link in the description box and you'll see where I interview Mangia Samantha Lawton. And we actually discussed this phenomena of things falling from the sky, but this happened after. I recorded that interview before I received a report of what happened here last year. So, this is the site of a very mysterious event just a year ago, Monaco Road in Leicester. I wonder if anything strange will happen while I'm here. Who knows? Anyway, thank you for watching Hapanwo TV. Sorry, I can't give you an answer to this puzzle right now. Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity, Stop the New World Order.